good, everyone? It's Steve from Sneaker Tech Talk, back with another video today. For today's video, we will be taking a look at a versus video of the Nike Lebron 20s versus the Nike Lebron 21s. So without further ado, let's get into it. As far as the traction goes on these two models, they are very comparable. On the Nike Lebron 20s, you do have this multi-directional traction pattern. Now, how these worked on floor, whether it is a solid outsole or a translucent outsole, it did not matter. This outsole really hugged the floor amazing. It didn't matter if you wiped at all even. The Nike Lebron 20 traction pattern is absolutely elite. I had an amazing time playing in these, and I still play in all my 20s to this day. Now, as far as the traction pattern goes on the Nike Lebron 21s, it is amazing if you're playing on a clean floor or wiping all the time. If you're not wiping all the time, you will slide out from time to time here in the Nike Lebron 21. It does offer a ton of feedback. Again, it's a multi-directional traction pattern. This one here is translucent or semi-translucent, so it will be interesting to see how these solid outsoles do perform. But if I had to give the slight edge to one over the other, I would have to say the Nike Lebron 20 was just the far superior traction pattern on not having to wipe on dirty floors. This shoe just really did a fantastic job at gripping any court surfaces at all. Now, as far as the cushioning goes, on the 20s, you do have Cushlon here in the heel. All of this foam right here is Cushlon. It does wrap around, so it is very soft, almost spongy in the heel. A lot of people didn't seem to love that. I actually had no issues with it at all, but a lot of people felt like it was kind of collapsing in the heel here in the Nike Lebron 20s. In the heel, you do have a 13mm bottom loaded zoom airbag. And then in the forefoot, you do have a large volume turbo zoom airbag. So definitely nice underfoot, a ton of plush cushioning. The heel to toe transition in this shoe is absolutely fantastic. And this foam compound does break down a little bit over time, so that really spongy feeling does go away. So I would caution you to just play in the shoe maybe a little bit longer, and I think you'll really enjoy this setup. Now, as far as what you're getting here in the 21, it's the exact same, minus in the heel, this dark purple here is a lot more firm. I believe this is just Phylon, so it is offering a more of a stable ride as far as not being too mushy in the back of the 21s. You still have that 13mm large volume zoom airbag in the heel, and then the top loaded zoom airbag in the forefoot, that zoom turbo bag. And then in these, it is Cushlon 2.0 as far as the foam here. It's very soft. I think 2.0 just means a softer compound, because 3.0 in the 38s is even softer than these. So that's what you're getting here. I would say if you like a more stable ride in the heel, where it's not as soft and mushy here in the heel, go after the 21s. But for me and my preferences, I still prefer the Nike Lebron 20 setup with the standard Cushlon and not having the sturdier foam in the back of the shoe, because other than that, the zoom airbag implementation on both of these shoes is exactly the same. So for me, I would have to say I'd give the slight edge to the Nike Lebron 20 as far as the cushioning goes. As far as the fit goes, both of the shoes, I went true to size 10.5, and I had no issues. My toe was basically almost touching both of these shoes at the end. I will say there is more break-in time in the 21s because of that raw material. It does take some time to break in, whereas this knit basically had no break-in time. It was very soft underfoot, or on top of your foot, right from the get-go. So as far as the fit goes, I will mention as well, if you do have a wide foot, I would go up half a size, because both of these do kind of taper in near the toe box. But overall, I think if you go true to size, you should be good to go. Wide footers, go up half a size. Really no extra volume in these shoes. It's a very snug 1-to-1 fit, which I love in my basketball shoes. So I would actually have to say the overall fit on both of these shoes would be a tie. So as far as the materials go on both of these shoes, starting off with the 20s, you do kind of have this basket weave mesh material here on the Nike Lebron 20s. I really enjoyed these because there's really no break-in time. They're pretty breathable and supportive to boot, so I had a fantastic time playing in these. You do have some suede or nubuck hits here at the heel and on the tongue right here, and then more mesh at the bottom of the tongue, almost like some patent leather here wrapping around the eye stay. So overall, the materials in these were amazing in my opinion. I just really enjoyed them. Now on the 21s, you are getting a more premium material. So you are getting a leather or nubuck combo here. As you can see, it is a raw material. It's a pretty thin material, but it does have about an hour or two break-in time. So these will require some break-in time, but as far as the overall aesthetics go, this material is definitely more premium than the 21s. So I would have to give it to that. But as far as playability goes, I still prefer the Nike Lebron 20s. I just really enjoyed that these had no break-in time. And you also kind of get this nubuck hit right here at the toe. So overall, I do prefer this material as far as on the basketball court goes. But if you're talking just pure aesthetics and looks, you cannot go wrong with the leather or nubuck combo here. Now, as far as the weight goes, both of these shoes right here are a size 10.5. As far as the Nike Lebron 21s, they do come in at 15.35 ounces. And the 20s come in a size 10.5, 15.4. So I know it kind of varies shoe to shoe, but overall it's a tie as far as the weight goes on the Nike Lebron 21s compared to last year's Nike Lebron 20s. Also for materials, as far as breathability goes, the 20s were pretty breathable having this mesh material here. I didn't feel like a ton of heat was trapped within this basketball shoe. Now this year, it's a lot different having this raw leather material. You do have some kind of perforations here on the lateral and the medial side, but I found this shoe a lot hotter compared to last year's 20s. So as far as the breathability goes, I would have to give the slight edge to the Nike Lebron 20s. As far as the support goes on the Nike Lebron 20s, starting at the back of the shoe, you do have a very sturdy and rigid TPU heel counter. Now moving your way down from that, you do have this lateral guardrail coupled with this material right here. So on those hard lateral cuts, your foot should not be spilling over the side of this shoe too much. I really didn't have any issues in the 20s. The overall fit and lockdown and support in these were fantastic. Now moving your way down from that, you do have this lateral outrigger, which should prevent your foot from teetering over. It is a low top, but if you get your proper size, coupled with this great lockdown at the back of the shoe, you're gonna have no issues as far as support goes. At the bottom of the shoe, you do have a wide and stable base here in the forefoot. You also have a carbon fiber shank plate that runs from about right here to here. So you have great midfoot support here in the Nike Lebron 20s, and it still has decent forefoot flex. Nothing crazy. It's a pretty stiff overall shoe actually, if I'm comparing it to this year's Nike Lebron 21s. As far as the support goes on the 21s, again, a very rigid and sturdy TPU heel counter. Moving your way down from that, you do have this very sturdy upper, this leather material. Underneath that material, you do have that fly wire material kind of running throughout the upper to really house your foot in within this shoe on the footbed, preventing your foot from spilling over. I had no issues in this shoe, especially. I would say it's a little bit more supportive on the 21s. Moving your way down from that, you do have that outrigger right here that does flare out. So again, it's going to prevent at least try to prevent your foot from teetering over and spraining your ankle. Sitting at the bottom of the shoe, you do have, I'd say it's a little bit wider in the forefoot actually. In the 21s, pretty similar in the heel actually. So you have that wide and stable base. One thing this shoe does different compared to the 20s is it has a plastic TPU shank plate right here, and it just runs right at this spot right here. So this shoe is a lot more flexible. So if you do like a shoe that has more flex in it, I would say go with the 21s. If you want a more rigid midfoot, I would say go with the 20s. For me, as far as the support goes, I would have to say it's a tie. I'd give the slight edge for me and my play style to the 20s because I really like that rigid midfoot. It just offers great support underfoot. So again, great supportive basketball shoe. The 21s are no slouch. So overall, these are both very supportive low top basketball shoes from Nike. As far as the support goes, I would have to say it's a tie, but for me and my personal play style, I would have to give the slight edge to the 20s. But overall, you can't go wrong with the 20s or the 21s. So that's going to do it for today's versus video on the Nike Lebron 20 versus the 21s. Overall, these are two fantastic performing basketball shoes and two of the most supportive low top basketball shoes on the market right now. Now, both of these shoes do retail for $200 USD. You can find the 20s, however, for like 25 or 30% off. So overall, they're more or less the exact same shoe. I would just have to say the midfoot right here is a lot more rigid with that carbon fiber shank plate. But if you're looking for a shoe with fantastic traction, support, cushioning, fit, Materials do differ a lot. For my preference, I still prefer the 20s over the raw materials here in the 21s because they're also not as breathable compared to last year. But overall, two fantastic performing basketball shoes. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have played in either one of these. But like I mentioned, that's going to do it for today's video. As always, if you guys can like, comment, and subscribe, that does help the channel a ton. And check out my Instagram over at Sneaker Tech Talk, as it is an extension of my YouTube channel with all my pickups, basketball footage, and nostalgia as a whole. Thanks for watching today's video, and until next time, peace.